Okay, so I'm going to get back to the chat. 1 second, I just had to change this stuff. I've got it okay. Yeah. Okay. Hi Carla, hi Whisper to Me, hi Aries Girl, hi Alicia, hi Paula, hi Sakura, hi the kiddies, hi Lisa, hi Apple Snapple, hi Donna, Carol, MC, Brady. Where did my chat just jump to? Flower Girl, Lonnie, Kristen and Company, Mary Kim, Miss Mary, Kansas Sunflower, how are you? Sharon, Apple Snapple, I got you. Hi Tom. Jetta, hello there. Jetta from Calcutta. Must be your first time here because I know I have never said that name. Hi Paula. Mandy Hall, how are you doing? Isabel, hi. I got Paula, Kristen, Mandy, Kelly Vanelli, hi. Alma, Tabs, how are you doing? Atsira, hello. Bella Mac, hi. Lords, I think this is your first time because I don't remember. That's not a familiar name for me. Hi Deborah. Kylie, hi Kylie. So we've got a few new people in here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Deb on the Move. Hi, Lori. Our number one on YouTube. And our number one mod. I got you. I was like, who was the number one? But our mods. I see that now. That's good, Deborah. Thank you. Teresa, hi. Oh yeah, how's your sinuses, Lisa? Better? Hi, Earthbound. You've been here many times? Maybe not in the chat because I usually say hello and I think I would remember your name because it rhymes. Hi, Lamb Chops. Hi, Mary. So, what was I going to say? It was a nice day here. But I know that other parts of the country had tornadoes, and other parts had flooding, and other parts had snowstorms, and then there were parts like us that had unseasonably warm temperatures. And then where was it? Washington, where there was a flash, some kind of a freak flood or something, and it took some people right off a what was it? It was it a pier? Oh, wait a sec. Oh, hang on a minute. This is my daughter. I don't know what this is about. This is kind of late for my daughter, so hang on. Sorry, that was a toothbrush question. Okay, sorry about that. That's really strange. I thought I talked to her earlier tonight. It's 1:37. I'm surprised she's up so late. Okay. So let me see where I was. Beautiful day in Texas. Where was I? How did everything move so fast? Any birthdays today? I was like way up here. How long was I on the phone? Like 3 minutes? Not even. Okay, so I see there, the more the merrier. Hope you're feeling better. I got that. Troconis does not do it. I don't think, Tom, if anybody does a deal, it's going to be Mawinnie. Mawinnie's the one I think is going to talk. And, you know, there's already saying that he might have already spoken and maybe he's safer. Maybe they have him protected in, that's why he didn't make bail. That he feels more protected where he is if he did sing. And what was the other thing I was going to say about the case? Oh, yeah, well, I'll talk to you about the knife and everything. The whole thing with the knife and the guy Fudge. You guys know what that's all about? You loved seeing the icy lake, Jana? Let's see here, no. MC Camps, Kelly Vanelli, I think it was Deb on the Move. And everybody's throwing pineapples. Miss Mary, Leisha, Earthbound, Lonnie, Alma, Deborah, Sakura. You found the stuff that I was asking you about. Okay. Took kids to New York City? Oh, did you? To see Frozen on Broadway? Oh, okay. Yeah, well, my daughter went to see Cats tonight. That's when I spoke to her before. She was on her way home. She always talks to me when she's walking home from somewhere. So she's like, Cats, she's like, I don't even know how that was on Broadway for so long. She's like, I would be so upset if I went to see that in the theater. So she's like, the movie was just, she went with two friends, and she said it was one of those that fall under like The Room. It's so bad, it's good kind of thing. It's just, and I said, well, I know, I don't know. She couldn't really say much about it other than that it was horrendous. Has anyone seen Jennifer Jo Crowley? I have seen Jennifer Jo Crowley. Maybe a few days ago. Are you looking for her? Let me see here. You've had much more bad news than good. So I'm definitely not going to count my chickens. Carolyn, good morning. Hi, it's cold and wet there. Hi, Maui. Sorry, it's cold and wet there. Hi, Mama Drama. Hi, Evie Scorpio. Hi, Leisha. I'm missing so many people. Backdoor. Blossom Berry. Judy, hello. Remember the Seavers texts and the toothbrush? How could, oh yeah, this was not that kind of a toothbrush question. No. Guy Fudge, yeah, I'll explain it to you. Oh, you think the same thing, Jetta? About Ken singing? Yeah, I think Ken is going to sing. I think Ken might have sung already. You have to realize there's so much stuff that we always find it out after the fact. You don't know what the police found out already, what they already know, what hasn't been released yet. Okay? And there's another thing. Did you guys know in the Seavers case, you remember that girl we heard the interview with, that Carrie girl, and she just told the story like she remembered every little freaking detail down to the littlest detail. Do you know she helped them get Mark? She wore a wire. She wore a wire and met with him on several occasions over the period of months, talked to him. I think both on the phone and in person. And she helped get him. You don't know about the Fudgy thing, I'll tell you. Remember Fudgy the whale? I've always heard about it, and you think ice cream, but I don't think we've ever had one. Maybe once, Fudgy the whale. We always got Carvel cakes, but maybe once we got Fudgy. You remember Tom Carvel? I wonder if he's probably not alive anymore. Alethea, hi. Rebecca, hello there. Dreaming, hi. Judy, you're going for special a mammogram tomorrow. Grandson's doing, good luck on your mammogram. Hope everything is clear and good. And your grandson's doing well in Pakistan. That's good. Prayers for a clear mammogram for you, Judy. Now let's see. Thankful and grateful you're here too. I keep getting messed up tonight. It's that phone call from my daughter threw me off. Judy, hi. Your best friend when I was 7 was Jutta. She was German and her parents decided to move back. I was devastated. Oh, were you? Maybe, are you sure that could be your friend? How crazy is this? I find out that the attorney that works with Mawini happens to have the exact same name as a classmate of mine and my orthodontist's son. And the guy that had the locker right next to mine in high school. Because we were in the same, our names were like, we went in alphabetical order. How weird, and with Connecticut being in the tri-state area, how weird is that? How freaking weird is that if that's his partner? What a small world that would be, right? Hey, there's this girl on there, Dave, and she is just yakking about me, saying I'm going to sing like a canary. Could you figure out who that is? Cracky. I think that's a girl I went to high school with. Can you even imagine that? You went to school with Mawinnies? Oh, with Mawinnies, not Mawinnie. No, but I honestly think that this his partner, it's very possible could be him. I'm going to have to do some investigating and see. You can never compare a movie. Oh, no. She goes to Broadway. No. You misunderstood me. She goes to Broadway shows all the time. But she said it was so bad that she would never even entertain seeing something like that on Broadway because the movie was so bad. I know what you're saying. You can't compare a movie to Broadway, but she wouldn't even take the chance. That's how bad it was. And I know a lot of people like Cats, memory. You're not late because I haven't gotten started because I can't even get the hellos out. Mama T. Catherine. Oh, from Abington, Pennsylvania. Mommies for the Win. It's a common name in, Yes, yes, yes. In certain areas, it wouldn't be a common name in Oklahoma. It would be a really uncommon name in Oklahoma. Um, I mean, they were the only ones in our town. It's not that common. It's not like Smith or Jones. Um, Sarah, hi. Jeanette, hello. I'm really, like, really losing my place here. So if I didn't see you, I'm really sorry, but I see you too because I have a magic mirror. So let me tell you about the knife, okay? So what happened was, you remember that homeless guy, right? Okay, well, the police questioned him. And what he said is that he went into whichever container they put this stuff in. This is so gross. He picked up the pillow that was still wet with blood that he got all over his hands. So he wiped it on his pants. And then he kept going down to see what he had. And down on the bottom, there was what he would describe as a fishing knife. Now, keep in mind this fishing thing because we're going to talk more about what Michelle used to do, okay? So it was this large fishing knife, and he took that knife and he sold it for $5 of crack to a guy named Fudge in Hartford. Now, if they could only get that knife and find out if it had, any DNA from, because right now they don't have it. So, note to somebody homeless, if somebody's dumping something and it looks like blood, you might as well just leave it all alone because it's probably something not good. And, right, fish, yeah. So, but now everybody's saying, well, did they go find this guy Fudge? And there's people that are trying to, like regular people that are trying to find Fudge. And I'm not telling anybody to find Fudge, but there are regular people looking, they're saying, like, how hard is it to find some guy that's known as Fudge who deals crack in Hartford? And ask him, get the word to him about this knife. And see first, number one, if it really happened. And number two, if he has the knife, he knows where the knife is. If he can, back up the story. Anybody live in Hartford? Know a guy named Fudge? He's selling crack. So that's number one. Hi, Patricia. So number two is okay. So it'd be helpful to find Fudge. Now, they're not sure if the police tried to find this guy Fudge. There can't be too many Fudges. Hey, you know where Fudge is? I got a fishing knife for him, maybe. Now, and I'm also confused. Hold on a minute. Fudge might not be the crack dealer. I think he said he sold it to Fudge for $5, and then he took the $5 and bought crack. So I don't want to incriminate Fudge as a crack dealer. Fudge might just be a guy that wanted a fishing knife. I'm not sure that Fudge sold him the crack. Or that Fudge had the crack and said, I'll give you $5 worth of crack for the knife. I think that's what happened, though. The ice? What happened? What happened to the ice? The ice is broken. The ice is broken. Oh, did you mean that the proverbial ice is broken? I thought you were talking about the lake, because the ice is broken in the lake too. Could just be chocolate. I don't know. But if anybody lives near Hartford, maybe to ask around. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm joking. But so maybe they do know something about fudge. Like I said, again, they're not going to be, you know, they don't release a lot of stuff. For all we know, they could have been surveilling him like they did Watts from, you know, the 26th on, which you would think. If they were getting him when he was dumping that stuff, I'm sure they were keeping a close eye on him. So we don't know what else they know already. I think they want an ironclad case, and they have a really good case so far. Okay, there's also speculation about how did he get in the house and what he did with his bicycle. Okay, so that's the other speculation. People are speculating that he used the axe to chop up the bicycle. Okay, others are saying no, he would never chop up that bicycle. It's so sentimental. Okay, so there's all that stuff going on. And, well, it's easy to get rid of a bicycle, but what about the tires? How could you chop them up? Oh, you broke the ice. Oh, Steph, I see, you broke the ice. I got it. You wouldn't walk the streets. It doesn't sound like a good idea, Crystal, no. I'm sure there are nuts in there somewhere. Where are the nuts? Okay, now back to the other thing. The selfie. Remember the selfies that Michelle Troconis took? Let me show you what she... If you haven't been to a Stop and Shop, and I didn't know about this either. Hang on. This is really playing out like a movie or a book because it's real life, but it has little things that you would find in a book, like little innuendos that you would go back to and say, oh, when she mentioned the robot, was that a reference to that? Okay, hang on. Okay, I'm going to show you. This is what she took a selfie with. Okay, let me just grab this. They have these robots in Stop and Shop. I'm trying to get a good picture of him where you can see him good. And we're going to go back and read what Michelle wrote because this is like becoming very, it's Marty the robot actually, and he mops up spills or something. So there's, okay, let me grab this one. He goes around the store. And remember when she left the day that she disappeared? That's because she took two selfies. But we're going to go back to her what she told them in a minute. Oh, this guy is too little. Hold on a minute. Okay, he's got these big googly eyes. He's got like those troll eyes. Okay, it looks all black here, but it's not. I don't know why that picture came out like that. Hold on. Let me get a close-up of his face, as I've got one over here. That's what I was wondering. Like, what the heck was she taking a selfie at? You know, obviously she was doing it as an alibi, but that's the reason for the Stop and Shop. Okay, there's his eyes. So when she made a comment, hey, Joker, I have no emails from you at all. I don't know where your email, you said you're like emailed me 10 times on Facebook, and here, I'm not getting any emails from you. Just to let you know, nothing at all. But hello there. So she took a selfie with this. To be fair, I take a picture of that too. Right. I know, Bella, but what she said then, when she made the comment to Fotis that I'm his little cleanup robot, well, now that it's this, you know, it looks like, did she use this as a little joke? Is this a little clue? And then you say, well, wait, this is real life. Is she really going through putting these little clues in there? And okay, so the other clue now is, did you know she had something to do with spearfishing and like gutting fish and everything? Big game fish. And there's also knowledge of dressing deer. Do you know what dressing a deer is? It's not putting a deer in a little dress. Okay? So it gets weird because you're like, wait, this is real life. This is not someone writing this. That freaked me out for a little bit. It took me back for like 15 minutes. Okay. But she's also, and did you know Fotis has knowledge of taxidermy? So all of that kind of stuff. And remember that Mawini, what kind of club did he have? What kind of club did Mawini have? You know that. I was not putting a little dress on him. No, there was a knife Alethea found. The homeless man told the police someone dumped something in those bins, and he went in the bin, and in the bin was a bloody pillow. He grabbed the bloody pillow, he got blood on his hands, he wiped it on his pants. He went down further in the bin and he found a large fishing knife. He took that knife and he sold it to a guy named Fudge. This is where there's a little discrepancy. Fudge either gave him $5 in cash and he bought crack, or Fudge gave him $5 worth of crack. But Fudge has the knife. The Rod and Gun Club. So they're saying, you know, like, don't think that she was squeamish. And you know those little shoe cover things? Yeah. Others have thought the same thing we did. Even that they might have worn ponchos that they believe were also made by that company. But that's just speculation on their part. But anyway, so I want to read through her testimony again, and then I want to look at her spearfishing stuff. They might have tested his pants. But the pants, he said, was from the pillow. And the pillows, they know, had her blood on them. So she took, yeah, we're going to go to that. She took a selfie with the robot. She took, remember, well, let's go over her testimony. Hold on a minute. Let me get her testimony. Oh, and her mother. Oh my gosh, let me tell you about her mother. Okay, a lot of people were really, really put off because they were like laughing and stuff at court appearances, and it was really disrespectful to, you know, Jennifer's family and the whole situation. But her mother, who's from Florida, who's in Florida now. I don't know if she's originally from there. But listen to this. Let me see here.
We all have the power to do good, to work hard and find solutions to the challenges we face.
Yeah, we do. Why can't I?
In that same spirit, Hitachi has been powering a better world for over 100 years, integrating digital technology with social...
Hang on a minute. Why is my thing? This is the same stupid thing that me last, and you just cannot shut this stupid thing up. No, I don't want the Gone Girl. Her mother, hold on, let me get this. This, I don't need that. Where is my thing? Okay, so let's do it here. I hope this is not going to give me the same freaking... Okay. So her mother's name is Maricela Arriaza, Arriaza, Areaza, Arriaza. And back in Florida, she faced her own trouble with the law in 2016. Arriaza and another woman were indicted on federal Medicaid fraud charges. Arriaza was accused of paying at least one person to become a Medicaid patient in her behavioral health practice, D&D Psych. The practice provided behavioral health counseling to children and adults in the Miami-Dade County. According to federal documents, Arriaza and the co-defendant paid the person more than $19,000 in 2012 and 2013 so the practice could receive Medicaid payments. Court filings indicated that federal agents believed the practice was offering rides to counseling to potential clients, with the drivers providing a kickback to anyone who agreed to receive Medicaid benefits. Arriaza closed the practice after being indicted and turned the office into a space for her legal team, working on her defense, court papers said. Federal authorities accused Arriaza of paying D&D employees to work on her defense so that they couldn't be interviewed by federal agents. Arriaza's attorney then sought to suppress evidence later gathered at the space, since it was then considered a law office dedicated to her defense. Arriaza, who lives in Miami Beach, Florida, and the co-defendant agreed to plead guilty in 2017 to offering health care kickbacks. The case was dismissed last December after Arriaza and the co-defendant were approved for a pretrial diversion program. So that's what was up with her mom. And so if her sister is running the business, she must love these. But at least her mother has a different last name. Okay. Now I was going to get you Troconis's. I'm going to pull that up, her testimony.
Ashley Home Store's sale and clearance event is going on now.
Why do these pop-ups, they drive me insane? What am I doing? I have them right on my website. Oh, that's another thing. You guys were asked, did I put that in the community page? I put them right on the website. The true crime, if you want to pull one up, you can read along. Truecrimechat.org. They're right on the website, and so is the Broussard one. Okay, Michelle. All right, let me pull this over. So you can pull. Okay, let me pull the chat up. Let me make this larger. But you can go to truecrimechat.org, and the first article have all 3 arrest warrants you can pull up or download. Okay, so let's see. We also have to find out about Andreas. Okay, here we go. So initial interview with Michelle. And remember, if you want to read your own, just go to grab your own right there on the website. And why is this not moving over? Oh boy, hang on. Smaller. Okay. As of the drafting of this affidavit, Dulos has provided absolutely no cooperation to law enforcement in this investigation into Jennifer's disappearance. Investigators have turned to Dulos, his girlfriend, Michelle Troconis, for assistance. Starting on 5/24 of 2019, they reached out several times to Troconis, leaving multiple phone messages for her to call back. Troconis failed to respond to any of their messages. On June 2nd, detectives conducted the first interview with Troconis at NCPD headquarters following her initial arrest on the above charges. Troconis' attorney, Andrew Bowman, was present in the room during the questioning. During the initial interview, Troconis offered her first version of the events of the date of Jennifer's disappearance, as well as the circumstances leading up to that day. On June 3rd, the day after Troconis' first interview, the crime van detectives were executing a search warrant at 4 Jefferson Crossing when they located a set of handwritten notes. These documents came to be referred to by investigators as the alibi script. The 2-page document included 2 distinct handwriting styles, which were later confirmed by Troconis to be her own handwriting and that of Dulos. The alibi script was an outline of the activities of Troconis and Dulos for those dates of 5/24, 5/25, laid out in approximately hourly increments. The original handwritten alibi script was recovered from a trash bin in the 4-group office that's above his garage at his house, and provided by Troconis and photocopies were in a briefcase. The alibi script included a narrative which was nearly identical to the information provided by Troconis in her first interview, and it represented an account of 5/24 and 5/25, which Dulos and Troconis together had authored, and whose narrative Troconis presented nearly verbatim in the first interview. In her second interviews, Troconis' account of those dates diverged from the alibi script, particularly when confronted with evidence, much of which was unknown to investigators during the first interview. It is therefore important to describe the various sources of information developed thus far during this investigation. Truecrimechat.org. Did you get it? There you go, first page. Okay. Interview number 2. Starting in her second interview, Troconis provided the following reasons for why she and Dulos had written out the alibi scripts. Troconis stated that on either Saturday the 25th or Sunday the 27th, she was present for a phone conversation between Dulos and his family attorney, Jacob Pytranker, in which Pytranker instructed Dulos to write out a precise timeline of his actions on Wednesday, the 22nd, the date of his last visitation with his children, which had occurred in part at Jennifer's home. Troconis reported the attorney had told Dulos to write down everything he had done during the visit to Jennifer's home. Pytranker specifically told Dulos to record whether or not he had entered Jennifer's home. Troconis remembered being surprised that Dulos had been to Jennifer's home that date because Dulos had told her the visitation occurred at Grace Farms in New Canaan. Troconis continued, Fotis goes, "No, I did not go in the house." And he, Pytranker, said, "Make sure. Where did you guys eat?" Dulos continued to say, "No, I didn't go inside the house, but yes, I hugged the kids. We played. I don't know if a hair went in." Following the call, Troconis confronted Dulos. "I'm like, Fotis, where were you on Wednesday? Because you told me you went to Grace Farms." Dulos admitted he had gone to Jennifer's house and added that they had eaten outside. Troconis reported Dulos had told her, "Jacob was saying, write down everything as you were by the time you spent in Jennifer's house. Where did you eat? Did you put any plates inside the house? Do you remember going to the bathroom?" Dulos repeated to Troconis that he had not entered Jennifer's home. Detectives pointed out that in recording their timelines, both she and Dulos had chosen to omit the trip to dump trash in Hartford, to which Troconis replied, "I know." When Troconis was told this looked bad, that she and Dulos had failed to record potentially incriminating information, Troconis replied, "Okay, I know." Troconis denied that Dulos had told her to leave certain items out of the script. She reported Dulos had told her to write out the highlights of her day's events. When asked if Dulos was dictating what story Troconis should tell police, she responded, "Well, obviously was for me to say it, but he was trying to be more accurate, but with a lie. That's what I'm saying. He was trying to fill things that I don't remember with things that it wasn't true." Sources of information. Troconis submitted to 2 subsequent voluntary interviews in the presence of her attorney in which she presented vastly different accounts of the events of 5/24. Additionally, the later seizure and search warrant execution on Dulos and Troconis' cell phone provided another source of information. Detectives also... Hold on, I gotta get a drink here. Secured various sources of residential and commercial surveillance footage. Therefore, these sources of information for Troconis included interview number 1, 6-2, alibi script 6-3, interview number 2, 6-6, 4, interview number 3, 8-13, 5, Troconis' cell phone data, 6, Dulos' cell phone data, 7, residential surveillance. In each of the interviews, Troconis offered claims which conflicted with her other interviews, and even sometimes portions of the same interview, which, when confronted with conflicts in the information she was providing, whether there be inconsistencies with other answers or contradictions to surveillance sources, Troconis would only provide more truthful information, sometimes modifying or changing her answer in the middle of it. During her 3 interviews, Troconis provided a variety of explanations when asked if Dulos was home at 4 Jefferson Crossing in Farmington when she awoke on the morning of 5/24/19. Interview number 1. Her statements included on 4/24/19 that both she and Dulos had woke up at their residence at 6:40. She told investigators that she and Dulos had showered and were intimate before she made breakfast for her daughter and then drove her to school. Note: this is inconsistent with information from the forensic download of Dulos's phone, which included on 5/24 the alarm activated at 4:20 a.m. and was shut off at 4:21 a.m. When pressed on whether Dulos was home that morning, Troconis admitted, so maybe he, Dulos, wasn't home the entire morning. But Troconis continued to still provide Dulos with an alibi for that morning from 6:40 until 8:15 a.m. She reported last seeing Dulos that morning at 8:15 a.m. in the 4-group office with Mawhinney. Troconis explained that she was out of the house from 9 to 11:30, which provides her with plausible deniability for that time period. When asked to clarify if Dulos was home on the morning of 5/24/2019, Troconis did not answer the question. Instead, she immediately began telling investigators what she had been doing by saying, all my morning I have doing, he was in the house, I have texts. Detectives continued to ask about Dulos's whereabouts, and Troconis ultimately acknowledged, so maybe he wasn't home. Interview number 2. From the very beginning of the second interview, Troconis continued to lie about seeing Dulos on the morning of 5/24. Troconis was asked if Dulos is at the home when she woke up at 6:40 a.m. And Troconis first reported he was there when we woke up. He was in the house. When Troconis was told investigators had evidence showing that Dulos was not in the house, Troconis replied, okay. Troconis provided to cover her face with her hands, wipe her eyes, and then tried to change the subject. Troconis' attorney, Andrew Bowman, tried to clarify with Troconis to see if she actually saw Dulos on the morning of 5/24. Troconis hedged her answer, but acquiesced that she did not see Dulos on that day until between 1 and 2 p.m. Troconis was asked if there was tension between Dulos and herself because of his divorce and the problems surrounding it. Her response was, we fight all the time. Detectives asked Troconis if the turmoil might be a motivating factor to get rid of Jennifer. Troconis reported that Dulos had expressed to her that he never thought Jennifer would do this to him and that he never saw this side of her. Troconis also conveyed Dulos had told her, sometimes I hope she disappears. Interview number 3. In this interview, Troconis' statements included investigators asked Troconis if she was ready to admit that she was not 100% truthful with investigators during her first 2 interviews. Troconis hesitated before answering yes. Investigators asked Troconis if Dulos was home when she shut off her alarm on 5/24. Troconis began shaking her head left to right as she responded no. Detectives confirmed he was not there. Troconis answered no. Investigators asked Troconis if she showered that morning with Dulos. Troconis responded, no, I didn't. Troconis ultimately admitted she had not seen Dulos in the bedroom, in the shower, or anywhere else in the house that morning until noontime when Dulos called up to her for lunch. The 4-group meeting and Dulos' cell phone. Troconis told investigators in her first interview that there was a 4-group meeting on the morning of 5/24 in the office area of 4 Jefferson Crossing, which was attended by Dulos and Kent Mawhinney. Troconis' count was contradicted by her subsequent claims and by Mawhinney. During the initial interview, Troconis' claims included Troconis reported that Dulos was in the four-group office section of the residence conducting a business meeting with attorney Kent Mawhinney the morning of 5/24 at approximately 8:15 a.m. She ultimately told three different versions of this meeting. Troconis first said that Mawhinney and Dulos both were sitting at a table talking with one another. Later, Troconis indicated that she only heard Mawhinney and Dulos talking but never saw the two of them together sitting at the table. And finally, Troconis reported that she only heard Mawhinney talking but did not see or hear Dulos. Troconis stated she greeted Mawhinney in the four-group office that morning. In an interview, Mawhinney admitted to investigators he was at the four-group office that morning but stated he never saw Troconis. Interview number 2. In this interview, Troconis' statements included: Troconis was asked if Mawhinney was in the four-group office on the morning of 5/24, to which she began nodding her head and saying yes, that I did see. She stated Mawhinney had a meeting that morning with Dulos. She continued to maintain that Dulos was present in the office at approximately 8:20 or 8:30. Troconis added that she had greeted Mawhinney by saying hi. When Troconis was asked if she knew the whereabouts of Dulos' cell phone that morning, she replied that she thought Dulos had a cell phone. When asked if Dulos would normally carry his cell phone with him, Troconis responded, yes and no, but a lot yes. Troconis answered that it would be unusual for Dulos to be without his phone, even for a few hours. Troconis left open the possibility that Dulos had left his cell phone behind accidentally. But when questioned, Troconis reported Dulos had not told her he forgot his cell phone on 5/24. Interview number 3. During her third interview, Troconis provided the following information. Troconis told detectives that after returning from dropping off her daughter at school, she had gone into the four-group office and had seen Mawhinney at the far end of the glass table. Upon seeing Mawhinney, she said good morning to him, and he responded, hello, good morning. Troconis then noticed that Dulos' cell phone was sitting on the table, and she found it unusual that the cell phone was there at a time when Dulos was not present and his whereabouts were unknown to her. Under repeated questioning by detectives, Troconis was unwilling to say that Dulos was not at the residence. She would only say that she did not see Dulos during the morning, not in the bedroom, not in the kitchen, not in the four-group office, and she did not know his whereabouts during that entire morning. Having seen his phone on the desk, Troconis repeated she had assumed Dulos was at the residence. I thought he, Dulos, was there because Kent was there, but I didn't see him, Dulos. I didn't see him. Troconis later added, back then, I always thought he, Dulos, was in the house, but thinking, I never saw him. I never heard his voice, so obviously he wasn't, or probably he wasn't in the house. Okay, where was I? Incoming phone call from Andreas. Dulos' phone records show an incoming phone call to his cell phone on 5/24 at 8:24 in the morning. The call was prearranged by Dulos the previous day with his friend Andreas, who lives in Greece. The incoming call from Andreas was not mentioned by Troconis during the first interview. Troconis did not discuss the call from Greece during this interview. She continued to claim no knowledge that Dulos did not have a cell phone that day. Interview number 3. In this interview, Troconis changed her entire story regarding the presence, absence of Dulos' cell phone that day by acknowledging Dulos' cell phone was sitting on the four-group office as she and Kent Mawhinney stood in the office, and that it received an incoming call on that date. The phone rang, and it was a call from, well, it said Andreas. And Kent stood up. According to Troconis, Mawhinney motioned for her to answer the cell phone. In answering a question from attorney Bowman, Troconis responded, Mawhinney said, like, there's a phone ringing. Are you going to do something with the phone call? and I picked up the phone. Troconis stated that she knew Andreas, a childhood friend of Dulos who lives in Greece, but that she was not sure if it was Andreas calling. Troconis also indicated that she heard static when she answered the cell phone and that it was difficult to hear. Troconis repeated she then heard the Greek word for hello, and she responded hola, the Spanish word for hello. That sounds like a code. I mean, a plan. The eagle has landed. Fat man flies alone. Troconis explained that this call was short and lasted only a few seconds before ending. Dulos' cell phone data shows a 17-second phone call. Troconis stated, and I'm pretty sure it was Andreas's voice. Troconis indicated that there was no follow-up phone call and that soon after the call she left the office, leaving Dulos' cell phone sitting on the table. Troconis' morning alibi. Troconis provided herself with several methods for investigators to rule out her presence at the crime scene on the morning of 5/24/19. Isn't this convenient? Okay. During her initial interview, Troconis made the following claims: that she left Jefferson Crossing at approximately 9:10 a.m. and dropped off an item to a friend, thereby providing herself with an in-person alibi before traveling north to the Simsbury Stop and Shop, where she took photographs of herself and a store robot, providing a secondary alibi. On her way home, Troconis stopped by an additional address in West Simsbury, where she met with a different friend, providing a third alibi. When asked if Dulos was home on the morning of 5/24, Troconis responded by telling detectives that her locations were substantiated by photographs and texts on her phone. She did not answer the actual question asked. See, that was completely all planned. She knew exactly what was going on. Okay. Without prompting, Troconis provided a description of the clothing she was wearing at the Simsbury Stop and Shop to help investigators identify her on store surveillance. Interview number 3. Detectives continued to question Troconis about the alibi scripts, which Troconis admitted having written with Dulos. Although she appeared to deflect more on the onus for the writing the document onto Dulos, investigators pointed out he wrote notes for Michelle, which were false. Troconis grudgingly admitted that portions of the alibi scripts were factually inaccurate. That's good. Factually inaccurate. Say alternate facts. And that she had nonetheless provided these falsehoods to police as facts. Factually inaccurate. Troconis' lunch with Dulos on 5/24. Troconis was inconsistent when questioned about Dulos' arrival at home for their lunch on 5/24. On interview number 1, Troconis reported returning to Jefferson Crossing at approximately 12 p.m. She stated the Ford Raptor was not on the property because Gumieni was driving it. Now, Gumieni is an ex-employee. He no longer works for Dulos. Troconis stated that the Ford Group Chevrolet Suburban was there. Detectives asked Troconis if anyone else was at the house at noon, and she responded, I had lunch with Fotis, but later, not immediately. Detectives asked Troconis to be clear if Fotis was home when Troconis returned to the house as late as noon. Troconis responded, he probably can be because he has the office on top. I mean, I didn't look for him. Troconis reported a different time frame for the lunch she ate with Dulos on 5/24. Interview number 1. First, she reported 1 p.m., and then she changed the time between 1 and 2 p.m. Interview number 2, she said sometime prior to 1 p.m. Interview number 3, she said between noon and 1:30 p.m. The alibi scripts say noon and 1 p.m. Surveillance shows the Toyota Tacoma pulling into 80 Mountain Spring Road at 12:25 p.m. Interview number 2. During her second interview, she explained, when Dulos returned home for lunch that day, he was wearing jeans and a light shirt with short sleeves, similar to polo, whereas during the third interview, Troconis claimed Dulos was wearing a collared button-down shirt with the sleeves rolled up, and that he appeared normal. In interview number 3, she admitted that she could not account for Dulos' whereabouts on the morning of 5/24, and when asked if she could confirm Dulos' whereabouts on the morning of 5/24, she acknowledged she could not. Troconis claimed that she had not found it unusual for Dulos to have absolutely no contact with her during the entire morning of 5/24. She claimed on some days they speak 20 times, and on other days they have no contact at all. 80 Mountain Spring Road, Farmington. The property located there is large, isolated, owned by the Four Group, and it includes a massive 11,000 plus square foot mansion with 5 bedrooms, 5 full baths, and 3 half baths, situated on just a little over 5 acres. The location is a 5-minute, 2.1 mile drive from their home in Jefferson Crossing. Throughout her 3 interviews, Troconis provided vastly differing accounts, all of which conflicted with location data gleaned from Dulos' and Troconis' cell phones. In her first interview, Troconis provided the following information. Troconis reported Dulos called her on her phone to tell her that they both had to go over to 80 Mountain Spring Road to clean the house in preparation for a client meeting the next morning. Yeah, right. She described it as common for them to use their cell phones to call one another. Troconis had to bring a vacuum, a Swiffer mop, paper towels, Clorox spray, and garbage bags. Yeah, okay. Troconis reported she and Dulos drove the 2.1 miles south to 80 Mountain Spring Road in separate vehicles, sometime between 2:15 and 3 p.m. Residential surveillance shows that Dulos, driving his 2015 Chevy Suburban, was followed by Troconis driving the 2014 Jeep registered to the Four Group, arriving at 80 Mountain Spring Road at 1:36 p.m. Soon after arriving, Troconis reported she discovered that the vacuum she had brought did not work. She explained how she returned to Jefferson Crossing to obtain a small broom. In order to clarify her story, detectives asked Troconis what she first saw when she drove into the driveway of 80 Mountain Spring Road. She reported seeing that the Suburban was already parked with Dulos standing inside. He was standing inside the south garage bay. Troconis indicated that at approximately 3 p.m. she returned to Jefferson Crossing, and she explained the way the Jeep was parked, it was easier to drive the Suburban. She reported that she went back to 80 Mountain Spring Road between 3:40 and 4 p.m., and when she arrived, she observed Dulos talking on his... She never knew the house was too big. Interview number 2. Troconis continued to claim that she did not know what Dulos was doing on the property. When Troconis was told that Dulos had killed his wife and involved her in the cleanup, she responded by saying, "That's like even worse. I hate him because of that." Affiant Kimball told Troconis, "He got you in trouble." Troconis replied, "But I was cleaning the house. I wasn't cleaning Jennifer." Interview number 3. During the third interview, Troconis provided some entirely new information. During interviews 1 and 2, Troconis repeatedly told investigators that she had been cleaning windows while at 80 Mountain Spring Road. And during the third interview, Troconis began claiming she had been cleaning bathrooms. Troconis indicated that when Gummiani arrived at 80 Mountain Spring Road at approximately 5 p.m., that she and Dulos had been standing up against the Toyota Tacoma's passenger side. Fotis and I were against the car. The Tacoma. Fotis was like behind me, like physical contact. Powell Gummiani arrives. I think Powell or Fotis said, I didn't see anything, or we weren't doing anything. I think something like a joke. When asked to explain her meaning, and Troconis answered, yeah, we were making... Troconis appeared to be saying that Gummiani's arrival interrupted Dulos and Troconis from engaging in sex alongside the passenger side of the Toyota. Troconis told investigators that she was inside 80 Mountain Spring Road when Dulos came inside looking for paper towels because he had spilled something in the Tacoma. Supposedly, Dulos went back outside to clean out spilled coffee and then returned to her and handed her the paper towel, which she threw in the garbage. Troconis explained Dulos, said he spilled, I think it was coffee. When asked where Dulos had spilled the coffee, Troconis responded, in one of the cars. That's what he told me. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but the paper towel was dirty. Troconis indicated the used paper towel had been brown in color. She told investigators that the soiled paper towel did not smell like coffee. In all 3 interviews, Troconis described how she repeatedly drove back and forth between 80 Mountain Spring Road and 4 Jefferson Crossing until using both the Jeep and the Suburban. The timing she provided is not corroborated by the cellular data of Troconis's and Dulos' cell phones. Dulos appears to remain at 80 Mountain Spring Road from approximately 1:36 p.m. until approximately 4:07 p.m., 2.5 hours approximately. Albany Avenue, Hartford. Starting in her first interview, Troconis told investigators that between 6:30 p.m. and 7, Dulos had offered to go to Starbucks located in West Hartford. Yeah, they live in a gorgeous area where I'm sure there's Starbucks all over the place. But let's go to a seedy part. Hey, how about I take you, my sweet girlfriend, to a seedy part of the town of Hartford, and we go to a Starbucks. Okay, so Dulos had offered to go to West Hartford to go to a Starbucks. Interview number 1. Troconis explained that she and Dulos rode towards the Starbucks in the Ford Raptor. Troconis reported she was on her phone. She wasn't aware of what was going on. Dulos drove past the Starbucks to what Troconis described as a creepy area, which was a crowded place with fire and police vehicles. Troconis explained Dulos, stopped, and we stopped. He throws something from the back, a bag, or I don't know what. I wasn't really paying attention. Troconis asked Dulos, why are we here? It doesn't make sense. She went on to state, we've thrown garbage bags in other opportunities, but I've never been in that area. That is the strangest statement, in other opportunities, but I've never been in that area. Troconis described how Dulos threw at least one garbage bag into a dumpster. Detectives showed Troconis screenshots taken from C4 surveillance footage showing the large black-colored pickup truck and a male wearing the light-colored shirt, dark pants, and the ball cap. Troconis identified the male as Dulos and the truck as the 2014 Ford F-150 SVT Raptor pickup truck, registered to the 4 group. Troconis also confirmed she was the female passenger pictured leaning out of the passenger side of the Ford Raptor. Detectives asked Troconis what was in the back of the Raptor. She responded, I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't looking. I was on the phone. I was probably talking to P2, my friend P2. Troconis explained that following the Albany Avenue leg of their trip, she and Dulos went to the Starbucks. Video footage from the Starbucks showed that Dulos and Troconis entered the store on 5/24 and purchased food and drinks at approximately 7:59 p.m. Interview number 2, the Albany Avenue trip, was not discussed during the second interview. Interview number 3, during that interview, Troconis began changing elements of her story. She changed her explanation of the items. She said she was instructed by Dulos to bring to 80 Mountain Spring Road and of her activities at that location. Troconis listed the items she brought to 80 Mountain Spring Road. I brought a bucket, a sponge, garbage bags, disposable gloves. Troconis described the items. The bucket is white, the sponge yellow and green, the garbage bags as black. Troconis also brought Windex, Clorox bleach, vacuum broom, paper towels. Investigators asked Troconis what she was planning on cleaning. She responded, "The house. And I wasn't going to clean it all." Interview number 3. Troconis told investigators she arrived at 80 Mountain Spring Road driving the Jeep Cherokee as Dulos drove the 2015 Suburban. When they arrived, Gamiani's Toyota Tacoma was already present. Troconis claimed to have no knowledge of why or how the Toyota came to be on the property. Troconis claimed she was inside 80 Mountain Spring Road cleaning bathrooms when she saw Dulos from the master bedroom window. She claimed Dulos was setting up stakes to keep people from parking on the newly seeded grass. At some point, Dulos went down into the basement of 80 Mountain Spring Road, after which she returned to 4 Jefferson Crossing for a broom. Investigators asked Troconis if there's anything else going on at 80 Mountain Spring Road, Farmington, that she doesn't want to be part of. Troconis replied, "No, not that I know of. Not of my knowledge." Interview number 3. Troconis told investigators that she was inside the residence cleaning when Dulos came inside looking for paper towels, claiming he spilled something. Troconis explained that Dulos went out to clean and returned to her and gave her the paper towel he had used, which she threw in the garbage. Troconis explained Dulos had claimed he was cleaning spilled coffee. When detectives asked where Dulos had spilled the coffee, she responded, in one of the cars. That's what he told me. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but the paper towel was dirty. When asked about the color, she reported it as brown. Investigators told Troconis it was difficult to believe she did not know what was going on. And Troconis responded by saying, "I didn't know what was going on, and up to now, I didn't see anything." Investigators asked where Dulos was cleaning the coffee stains, and she said, "I believe it was in the Tacoma." Investigators determined that on 5/29, Dulos and Troconis together shuttled Gamiani's Toyota Tacoma pickup to Russell Speeder's car wash in order to have the vehicle thoroughly cleaned out and detailed. Dulos paid $250 in cash to have the services performed and did so without Gamiani's knowledge or permission. Residential surveillance from Jefferson Crossing showed a black Chevrolet Yukon, followed by a red Toyota pickup, driving on Jefferson Crossing towards Eli Road at 8:56 a.m. During interview number 3, Troconis indicated Dulos was driving the Tacoma and she was operating the Yukon as they drove to Russell Speeder's car wash in Avon. Russell Speeder's surveillance footage showed the Toyota pickup entering the parking lot area at approximately 9:05, and Dulos can be seen entering the lobby and speaking with Russell Speeder's representatives, whose records the following information on a detail log sheet for the vehicle. The name field is left blank. The phone number recorded is Troconis' cell number. The vehicle field is filled out as a Toyota Sienna. The time field is recorded as 8:44. The detail field is marked at full. The price marked as $250. According to Troconis, Dulos got into the Chevy Yukon and the two traveled to the law offices of attorney Andrew Bowman, who currently represents Troconis. At approximately 1:39, Troconis' phone records show an incoming call from a number which is listed as the business number at Russell Speeder's car wash. So they're telling her her car is done. At approximately 2:28 p.m., Troconis' phone records place her cell phone in the area of the People's United Bank, located at 310 West Main Street in Avon. At approximately 2:28 p.m., Russell Speeder's surveillance shows Dulos entering the lobby to pay for the detailing of the Toyota. Both Dulos and Troconis were arrested on 9-4 and 9-5 respectively, largely based on their roles outlined to tamper with, fabricate physical evidence in violation of Section blah blah of Connecticut, Colorado. Okay. We know that the bicycle. That's okay. So we don't know where the bicycle is. The bicycle's gone, like I said. There is speculation that he used the axe to chop it up. But where did he dump it? He'd have to. The tires would be very conspicuous. There's also speculation that that place that he went water skiing all the time, that he threw some stuff in there. And then there's something here in one of them where she says, "I'm his little cleanup robot." And that's why it seems suspect that she took the picture with the little the spill cleanup robot. But and one is here now. What's going on? Keep murdering their wives. Why is the bicycle important? Because somebody drove a bicycle from the Toyota to what appears to be Jennifer's house, and that's probably the person that killed her, and it looks like Fotis' bike, so it's pretty important. We have a Gail in here. Oh, is that who's here? Gail? Did someone come in telling us to go to sleep? I missed that. I missed it. I don't even see it. Did someone come in? Hi, Mrs. McJagger. 6 million, incredible amount. I know the real Gail is real, but when others chime in, becomes a character. Gail goes way back. Okay, so now I've got to look up I've got to get the other stuff on the animal stuff. Okay, just hang on. Hang on for a minute. Okay. Oh, and there's also, oh my gosh, there's more stuff on that circulating around that Mawinnie was seen carrying a shovel in certain other areas. Just trying to find her. There was something else they said. Spear. Hold on. Okay, hold on a minute. All right, here we go. I saw the taxidermy. Okay, wait a second. I just had the taxidermy thing and I just... Hang on. I'm still here. Just, I don't know, let me put that in again. Okay. Both very comfortable post-mortem. Okay. Okay, she had an Instagram company with animal prints and spearfishing. So I have to do some more research on that. And then he did taxidermy stuff. So it said that they're both very comfortable with post-mortem animal acts. But now, her Instagram, okay, Anna, let me see if I can find anything on that. Art installation. Okay, well that's something. If you want to do that for, I'm going to look into that more. You can do it too for see if you can find anything on that. But it's supposedly she had an Instagram. And I did see her former husband, or I don't know if she was ever married, the father of her daughter. He's some kind of champion skier, snow skier. Fotis is a water skier, remember? They have a picture with Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon at the ski resort he owns. She looks a hell of a lot different, I'll tell you, than she looks now. Then I thought, everybody was speculating why she was in the hospital. You don't think it's because she's pregnant with Fotis' baby, right? Has anybody thought of that possibility? Michelle had an Instagram related to game fishing and like these animal prints, and it's spear fishing. Joker, did you ever answer me about the emails that you were sending? Then you discover he killed his ex. Glam Dolly, but see, it looks like she knew it all. She just wasn't shocking. You're not fine. No, probably her whatchamacallit was, you're going to have to find it like more sleuthing than that at Sierra. We got to go back on like way back and stuff. It's not going to be up anymore. That's the problem. Because her LinkedIn is down, but I found stuff on her LinkedIn. You just got to keep diving in. Hi, Angie. Hi, Liz. Hey, whisper to me. You got to Florida? Did you find a McDonald's finally? You did, Carolyn, on here, but I will forward them to you shortly. Please do. I'm very intrigued. Yeah, Sharon just posted my email there, Joker. What was I going to say? So we have to do some detective work. We have to see if we can find anything more on this guy Fudge. And their taxidermy and the fishing knife. It's going to require a lot of digging. I'm shocked. She knew her lover. Well, Glam Dolly, there's a lot of women out there because like they think they'll get a high from it. Like, he wouldn't kill me. He's only killing her because she's just, she's terrible. They're jealous of the wife. And he likes me better. He would never kill me. He loves me that much to kill for me. It's almost like some women can get a high from that. Right? That he loves her that much, he's willing to kill for her. That's the ultimate. Okay, so it was Dulos. Oh, Alma, you missed the other night then, right? When we went over the whole timeline? Dulos took the red pickup truck. He parked it near Waveney Park, where he eventually, her Suburban was, what is it? Is it a Suburban? A Tahoe? Some Chevy truck. I think it was a Tahoe, right? A Suburban, one or the other. And he parked that there eventually, but he took the bike. He had a dark hoodie pulled down over his face, and he went in the direction of her house. And then it's believed he this is the part, like, did he hide out and wait for the garage door to open and scamper under it when she pulled in? Did he somehow find a way to get in there? And did he... Carolyn, it may shock you. Your wife tried what? What did she try? I don't know what she tried, Joker. They wouldn't block somebody instantly. That sounds weird. Why don't you send me her screen name and I can see? Mods would not block anybody unless they did something. So that sounds weird. Maybe she was blocked. Maybe somehow she got blocked by an accident, and that's why you think it was instantly, but if she was already blocked. Because if you're blocked and you go into somewhere and you try to post, you're already blocked. What's her screen name? Her name is Danielle C. Okay, so then after about a couple of hours, her truck pulled out of the driveway, and then the Tacoma was seen driving down the highway towards where Fotis lives with a bike in the back. So we went over that, Alma. If you missed that, you should go watch that video because we went over it like great detail. I think he used the bathroom window during the picnic and unlocked it and climbed in. Maybe Carol, yeah, maybe. I'm sure she had an alarm system, though. The alarm would have gone off. I don't know. Unless he found out from the kids what the code was. Or Hassan, do we already know you? No, but we say hello to people that come in the chat. And the bike, Alma, was a very specific bike. It was a vintage French bicycle. Yeah, I'm wondering about the cameras, right? That's kind of weird that they didn't have cameras either. But we don't know. We don't know for certain exactly everything yet. From his childhood. Yeah, from his childhood. That was like one he had in his childhood, I guess. Do I think he slashed? A vintage, right? Yeah. Mercier. You would think on that type of home, you would. He bought a gun recently. He did. But he bought it when he was married to Jennifer because he said he was going to protect his family. That was mentioned in the divorce decree. The divorce proceedings. And you know that he recently wanted a dismissal of his divorce. And the reason that was because if he got this dismissal, then he could just get a divorce now by putting one of those ads in the paper, like when someone's missing. And he thought perhaps there would be, he'd be able to get himself out of some of the financial things that were in the other whole proceeding. So that was what the dismissal of divorce was. And his attorney said when he did it that Fotis had a something like a temporary lobotomy at that moment, thinking that he could do that. Yeah, but he was trying to do it in another way, Liz. He was trying to get a dismissal of this contentious divorce that was going on in order that he would just go put a notification in the paper because she had been missing. And you know what I mean? And then just get the divorce and not have any stipulations on him. He's made the narrative that she's alive. He's saying he wished Jennifer... Oh, of course, yeah. But there's certain things like I want to know. Now, I did see a very brief video where they took dogs, it looks like to the 80 Spring Crossing. But there's no report of what happened there. That's number one. Number two is I want to know if anybody dove in that water skiing lake in, I think that was in Avon. Did they have divers go in there and look for stuff? Bike tires, anything? Who's to say that bike was not put in that Raptor, and when Gamieni took it for the weekend, remember when they said we need to keep your Toyota? And he said, I've got to take my dirt bike out. Could that bicycle have been in the back, not in the tailgate portion of the Raptor, in the back of the truck? And could Gamieni have gotten rid of it? Magnet fishing. Because they weren't surveilling Gamieni when he took off with the Raptor. This lawyer, have you read what he wrote about why he takes cases like Alex Jones and Fotis Dulos, who, Norm Pattis? Would he cover up on it? What if he didn't? Okay. What if he didn't know? I don't know. What if he didn't know? What if Fotis said, hey, listen, I'm trying to clean up around here. Can you take this bike and just drop it off at Goodwill or something? I don't know. You know, I don't know. Hey, your kids want this bike? I have no idea. He writes about his awful childhood, Norm Pattis. Question is common enough for criminal defense lawyers in the past few weeks. We've received variants of the question scores of times. You see, I represent Fotis Dulos, a man suspected in the disappearance of his estranged wife and the mother of his 5 children, Jennifer Dulos. As if that weren't bad enough, I also represent Alex Jones, the owner of InfoWars, a man sued for denying years ago that the Sandy Hook Elementary School shootings took place. Why would I choose to defend such folks? The answer might surprise you. I'd rather represent the scorned than the popular. It's how I put them together. It starts with a simple enough proposition: no one is the sum of their worst moments. Put another way, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. That's a Sunday school answer. However, I am a haphazard Christian at best. Most Sundays find me in the office, not in a pew. A decade or so ago, a loved one fell ill. She was seriously ill. I was terrified. What would I do if I lost her? What would our children do? What would my clients do if I lost my way? What would my employees do if I succumbed to the grief? I went to see a psychiatrist. I needed a shoulder to lean on. When she recovered and the crisis passed, I signed on for psychoanalysis. For the past decade, I spent 4 mornings a week on the couch, free associating my way through endless hours to figure out why I do what I do. In terms of cases I take, here's the provisional answer. When I was 8, my father left home one morning and he never returned. I was an only child. We lived in Chicago at the time. My mother took his disappearance very hard. I was sent to live with relatives in Detroit while she regrouped. Months later, when I saw her, I realized I had lost her too. In some fundamental sense, I was alone, suddenly a weeper of solitary tears. We lived several years like vagabonds. All of our belongings were lost to the storage company that held them, and then seized. When my mother was forced to declare bankruptcy, 1 year we lived in a spare bedroom of an aunt's home. Then we lived in an unfinished attic. It was freezing in the winter and sweltering in the summer. We rented rooms in a rooming house. I had my own, and it was heaven. And then we started to rent furnished apartments. I had my own room. My mother took the living room. We moved each school year, my mother always seeking a better school district. I saw my father once again 40 years later, thanks to a random appearance on Good Morning America. It was a difficult reunion, so difficult in fact that when he died, I was not told about his death. I learned of it just in time to crash his funeral, much to the surprise of his new wife's family, who apparently did not know that I even existed. Walking into a courtroom, even a hostile courtroom, by contrast, is easy. As I was about to enter high school, my mother found a new man, a violent drunk who despised me. His names for me made his contempt for me clear. I was suddenly a stranger in my own home, a feeling I wish on no one. I'd walk the streets to avoid coming home before they were asleep, as to avoid confrontation. These days, email attackers who berate me stand a distant second to this man. Do you think I'll be discomforted by an electronic scorn when I've smelled drunken rage at close quarters? One night, a call came in. Her beau had beaten a neighborhood drug dealer senseless with a baseball bat. The dealer's friends vowed vengeance. My mother wanted to call the police, but that wasn't how business got settled in Detroit. I was given a rifle to guard the back of the duplex within which we lived. Shoot anyone who comes in here, I was told. My mother's lover was out front with a revolver. She stayed in the house and wept with fear. I prayed that night that the men would come in the front door and kill this man who made my life so difficult. It didn't happen. I was 14 or thereabouts, and I would have killed that night. I'm a criminal, I suppose. What saved me was my big brother's program. My big brother had a son my age. A couple of times a month, I was taken away for the weekend. We ate meals. We sat at a kitchen table. I was welcomed at that table. We went to baseball games. We watched sports on television. I'd wait on the street for him to come. He always arrived when he said he would. He was a solid anchor in a sea of anger, frustration, and fear. I lost track of my big brother in my mid-teens, when I'd had enough of being hated in my own home and left Detroit, graduating early from high school and never really returning home. Such success I've enjoyed as a lawyer surprises no one more than it does me. My big brother died not long ago. I was beginning a trial in a case in which my client was accused of throwing his 7-month-old baby to his death off a bridge. I asked the judge for permission to attend the funeral. Permission granted. All at once, things seem suddenly more clear. I am the man who once rescued the little boy. I become my big brother. The folks and I stand beside are me. In some bizarre twist of fate, I repeat the abandonment cycle, this time being the rescuer I never had. I can work out the rage, fear, and sorrow over abandonment in standing between an accused and his accusers. It's true, I take pride in knowing that the state must get me to get at my client. Get at me to get at my client. I know, the analogy is not perfect, and it's perhaps too convenient, and yet, yes, I get money to do my job, and notoriety of a sort suits me. I am a vain man of unclean lips, but I know that there is truth in this explanation. The world hates Fotis Dulos just now. I was hated once too. A drunken bully would berate me as I stood my ground, trying to bait me into a fight. I'd stand silent, keeping my cool, plotting vengeance. I thought of killing him, but I decided leaving him was better. My mother had made her choices. I had choices of my own to make and a life ahead of me. So I lived that life. I defend hated and scorned people, and candidly, there was nowhere I'd rather be than by their side. Why? I'm guessing it had to do something with silent tears. I wept, and no one to hear them. My clients will not be alone. They need the defense a little boy never got. If I am wrong to give them defense, I nonetheless do not apologize. I don't even ask for understanding. Here I stand. I can do no other. And you're all entitled to your honest answer to the questions folks ask over here over and over again. Why? Okay, that did not make a lot of sense to me, but okay. And I too, Scooter. It's Norm, Fotis' lawyer. Is this feel sorry for me? So find my client not guilty. Routine? I'm not sure, Deborah. Didn't make a lot of sense to you either. The ponytail guy, yeah. Norm Pattis. Okay, and what was the thing I said there was in the Sievers? Oh, the Sievers case, yeah. I told you. That lady Carrie wore a wire, and that's how they got Mark. She gave an interview, and do you know, it was, like, I thought I was listening to the same interview that she gave the cops. It was verbatim, word for word like that. There's nothing deviated from it. And in fact, the one she gave police was more because she said that she didn't know they had the laws in Florida that everything she said would be released. So she's going to leave some stuff out of it now, some really personal stuff. But it was the exact same interview. But she had a wire on. And she talked to him for months on the phone and in person, and that's how they got him. What surprises you? Which one? Carrie? Or the lawyer? Or this or that? Hi, Diana. Hey, Angie. Pattis is saying that Troconis is the lying lover and Gamiani I don't think you mean, do you mean Mawini? What name is, but we have to find what the heck was Andreas. What was the call from Andreas? Oh, carrying the wire. There's a lot that has to be sleuthed. Andreas, what was the deal? Was he in the country? Was he ready to get Fotis out of the country? Was Ola the code word? Ola, he's there, everything's going good. Hi, Yellow Submarine. Yeah, Kayla, France. Maybe it was to show that his phone was at home, part of an alibi. She could have called too. I mean, anybody could have called. I don't know. It's weird. Oh, he's saying Gamiani? Gamiani. Oh, see, we don't have anything on Gamiani's Gamiani's interview except what's in the warrant, but we don't have. They probably didn't give a lot. We don't know. Gamiani could have the bike. That's what I'm saying. We don't know. We only know what they're telling us right now. We don't know a heck of a lot. And there were other people. What's this thing with people that say they saw whatchamacallit walking around with a shovel? Let me see what. Mawini's cracking. Believe me, that guy's going to crack like crazy. Especially, did he make bail? If he didn't make bail yet, that guy can't take it. They're going to offer him like everything. Just oh, then we have that suspicious person with the other vehicle, the heavier set guy in the hoodie that was outside Mawini's wife's house with the gas can. Okay, it said he was seen walking along a back trail with a shovel at some point close to Jennifer's house. But that, yeah, that was something that was floating around Farmington. That was not confirmed. But we know he put the one at the, the Rod and Gum Club. He had to have dug that one. That grave was found. I don't know, I just wish they would, yeah, and the weird thing is on the morning that Fotis was learning he was going to be arrested and charged with murder, he made a call to Kent. And then remember, Kent was evading arrest. So did Kent move it? I don't know. Did Kent? So crazy. This case is so crazy. And I told you they changed the address of her house to 71 and it's for sale. Okay, let me see here. Maybe it was to show. Oh, you're still there. How come my chat isn't moving? You've got to be past that point. I've got to refresh my chat because my chat's not moving. There was a movie like that where two guys plotted to get rid of each other's wives. I think somebody said it was a Columbo or something. Oh, yeah. But, the other thing is, yeah, look back on the arrest pictures. Like the first arrest, Dulos shaved his head. And it's rumored that he shaved his arms too, so as not to leave any hairs. I looked at it when they were he had his head down and he was almost bald. Stranger on a Train, Alfred Hitchcock. How'd that one end? Go look, because I thought to myself, I was like, why is his hair like almost like bald? because especially a guy like him was really concerned about his hair. Broken finger. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, Ariel Mama. Yeah, shaved. I actually thought the jail did that. Right. I want to see the pictures of his body, because we don't even know if he had a hairy chest. If he had a hairy chest and he shaved his chest hair, but there are reports he shaved his arm hair. Jake Patterson shaved his head. Is that how the movie was too? One wife murdered and they got caught? You try to unfix what? Love my doggies. Are you Joker's wife? Love my doggies? What did you try to fix? Are you Joker's wife? Love my doggies? Hi, Sassy Darcy. Yeah, he might be very hairy, but he might not. You can't always go by that. Do we know, did we ever see a picture of him with no shirt on? No, I'm not Joker with wife. I have that 6 people blocked. Oh, you have 6 people blocked and you can't figure out how to unblock them? You have to go to their profiles. Are they in here? Oh, I don't know how you're going to do that. Go to your channel page and then go to your channel, go to your community, and it'll show you your blocked people. Killers are so forensic aware now. Yeah, like that thing on Netflix where that rapist guy was reading the manual, right? The textbook, the forensics of rape and the DNA, right? Did you see that? Was it Unbelievable or what is that one? Do you know which one I'm talking about? The Lance Fotis went to. He was absolutely committed to doing this. He set his damn alarm for that morning. Supposedly born in Turkey, raised in Greece. But yeah, according to his name, sounds Greek. Yes, Greek. He's Greek. But all Greeks are not hairy. I need or must have a brownie. Jimmy made brownies tonight. At the time for the Christmas cards. What Christmas cards? I'm going to enjoy the night and try to fix it tomorrow. That's good. The Netflix series, yeah. I don't like hairy men as a mate. Define hairy, like how much hair? Well, yeah. No. Okay, not hairy. Just like all Italians, men don't all have hairy chests. You didn't see that? Oh yeah, and that's what they were reading, and that's how they were profiling this guy. They said this guy knew. So was this guy reading this? And just like, oh, I was listening to that Mark Sievers thing, and he told Carrie, well, they got her from behind, so you know what that means. No DNA. Deborah. I don't know, Glam Dolly. I know that a lot don't fit that. Did I just hear the phone? Oh, Michaels is emailing me again. They're giving me 50% off. They want me so badly. Oh, thank you to Norma. Norma, I missed your super chat last night when I was reading. Thank you, Norma, for the super chat you gave me last night. Cheerio, you're leaving? You're leaving, Alma? Cheerio? Cheerios? Okay. Those $4 grab bags have to come up soon? Yeah, I haven't seen them. This may sound dumb, but I heard you reading and I still can't figure out what a Cheerio is. Really? Well, just take the cheery and then just take the last part. What do you think? Oh. And that's also the beginning of the word. Some say it would be the climax of the story. And in that song, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, he said, relax, don't do it. Oh, wow. Love my doggies. Definitely will pray for you. I'm glad you're out of the hospital, and I hope that you make a full recovery. You need spoons? What? Oh no, really? You have 15 gallons of water on your kitchen floor? What do you need spoons for? You need a mop. We've been live, Jolene, coming on 23 hours. We look good, though. Lots of Red Bull. I've had about 16 Red Bulls. Only one more hour to go, and we'll be at our goal of 24. I keep getting emails. I hope we can make it. I don't want to have a 16th Red Bull. That would be over the top. Later, look up the spoon theory if you're not familiar. Okay. Spoon theory. Oh, you got it, Diana. That's me. What are Cheerios, though? I just said it, Gabby. Carolyn, I emailed you on the True Crime chat. All right, let me take a look. But if you want me to check if she's blocked, you have to give me the URL to her page, her profile. Does your name begin with a D? Yes, it must, right? All right, this is a lot to read, but if you have her name and her URL, I can check, because I don't see her name in here, just as I'm scanning it. I need to know her name and her URL. And I'll look at this, okay? Rescue tiny sugar glider. Oh, okay, thanks, Joe. I'll check that out. Mama Drama, you're trying to join Slack. I'm fairly certain I put you in there, but I will put you in again. If you have already emailed me, make sure you look for an invitation. You get an invitation. Thanks, Jeannie, on the scamming videos. Okay, so let me come back to the chat. No problem. I just want to read it later because I can't concentrate on it now. I'm not good like that. Lisa, how are you feeling? DeFiore. I know people were asking about decoupage. And Mama Ames or Frilly Farmhouse or someone on a spring wreath. Does anyone know? Alyssa Turney. It sounds familiar. What kind of case is it again? Tell me what it is. The name sounds really familiar. That's not the little sister. Is that something like her sister or something? Kevin Bacon. Oh, I heard about that recently, Nicole. Yeah, I just heard about that. Jolene? Missing person. Oh, yeah. It is the one I'm thinking about. Yes. And there's some big podcast about it, and her sister's goes on and talks about it, doesn't she? Finally better. How does everyone feel about doing a decoupage live January 25th or February 1st? What is that? Are those Saturdays or something? What days of the week are those? I don't know why January 25th is ringing bells for me, but sounds good to me. Hey, Casbat. Somebody, and I don't know if they're real. Do you know if there's a, now I don't know whether, okay. Someone said, now I don't know if the person that said this is like a protected citizen or would have a reason why anybody that's on house arrest, they would be able to get notification where that person from house arrest goes using an app or something that's called like My Vine or Vine something. Has anybody heard of that? Because someone is claiming that they have Fotis Dulos on an app like that. And they know that he was downtown. She even said what he was wearing, but I don't know if she was just joking about that. But I didn't look it up. But I thought, well, maybe somebody has it if they're like, it's, I don't know, if they're in the area and they're being attacked, I don't know. Or they're a protected citizen or something. No, it's, I know Vine is a video app. No, but it's something different. It's called like My Vine. It's one word, or like Vine Me. And you get notifications when people on house arrest leave their house. It was popular a few years ago. TikTok? What's TikTok? You tried catching up on a catch a criminal, but you're not a part of Slack. Ariel, Mom, I thought I put you in Slack. You've got to go and search it. Search Slack, Ariel Mama. Search Slack in your emails. I don't know how to send you another email if I already did, because it won't let me. When I go into Slack and try to do it, it goes, this person's already in your workspace. TikTok is similar to Vine. No. It's not about videos at all, though. It's about notification on people that are on house arrest. Hold on. I'll hold on a minute. Yes. Okay. So here's what was said. What is this one? Okay, wait a second. The Fotis Dulos is going to court. This is not the one I think. Hold on. No, it's something called, it's not that type of Vine. They get all kinds of information for this person. When his court dates are coming up. If he leaves his house. It's got to be something that either she lives near or she's like a protected citizen. I don't know. Hold on, let me just... Yes, see, it's something different. It's Vine is America's #1 victim notification network, empowering victims to share up-to-date incarceration and criminal justice data with the Vine system. Officers of upcoming court appearances, reducing the amount of no-shows. He was arrested in jail. Okay, so it's some kind, it's for victims. It's vinelink.com is the online portal for Vine that can be accessed 24 hours a day, 24 days a week. Excuse me, 24 days a week, 7 days a week. Oh my gosh. To provide the most reliable information for custody status changes and criminal case investigations. So this lady claims she's getting all of this information. Murder victim, see? Murder victim not told, suspect was out on bail, and this is what it is. And then she was, that's how this came about. The history of Vine, it says, Mary Byron had been raped, assaulted, and stalked by her former boyfriend in late 1993. He was arrested and jailed for these crimes, but someone posted his bail and he was released. There was no way for Mary to know, and on the evening of December 6, 1993, Mary sat in her car as it warmed up after leaving her job at a local mall in Louisville, Kentucky. Her former boyfriend approached from the driver's side and fired 7 bullets into her head and chest at point-blank range, killing her. It was Mary's 21st birthday. The community was stunned and outraged. County officials and engineers worked diligently to design a system that will let crime victims know when their offenders are in jail, when they are held, and when they are released. Exactly 1 year after Mary's murder, Jefferson County, Kentucky became the first community to institute the automated telephone notification for crime victims and other concerned citizens. The system is Vine, victim information and notification every day, and is now used in thousands of communities across the nation. So this woman is claiming she knows where. I don't know how she knows about him, unless, I don't know, could she be Mahoney's wife? I don't know. But she's saying that she knows where he is. And when he left his house and what he was wearing, when he was around town, he was wearing skinny jeans, and she named the shirt he was wearing. So somehow she's finding out. As citizens for what? But they'll give you anyone's information? So I can go get Fotis' information? Oh, yeah. Anytime you want, Lisa. Anytime you want. Another case in Long Island? Yeah. Okay. So I can, but they'll give me his whereabouts, Fotis? Okay, so I sign up for that and that's how I get him? Good. Hi, Sarah A. I'm glad to hear that. It's a new sleuthing tool. Really? So good. So we should all put him in the radar. Oh, Fotis went to Supercuts. It says the features vary from state to state in the fine print. Okay, well, this woman was saying, I wish I could find her thing. The date that he went to town, because she's like, I was sickened by it. I found out he was in town, and no less, running around with his skinny jeans on and something else, and some kind of shirt. And she was, she was sickened by it. Oh, nobody answered me if you think that Troconis could be pregnant by Fotis. You read that neither one of them are U.S. citizens? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. A really interesting one you'll prepare? Okay, good. The decoupage class. Okay. I can see what I can check right now. That shouldn't be hard to find out. Okay. I see something, the first thing that comes up is in the reg, the Daily Mail, which is not a source that we would ever put our faith in, ever. I just want to see what this says, because this is probably where you're hearing it from. I'm not saying that it couldn't be true, but I would never base this as a source. I'd have to see it in a real source. Let me see what this says, though. A native of Argentina, this is Troconis, who is not a U.S. citizen. Troconis was warned that criminal conviction could result in her deportation, from America. Fotis Dulos, who was born in Greece, was given the same warning by the court. Yeah, I saw that warning. It's not exactly what it said, but I would imagine he is a citizen now. I'm looking for any other source than Michelle Troconis must answer some questions. Respond to questions about whether she was. Was registered citizen. Bloody zip ties. Let me see what this one says. In a bombshell. Well, remember that Mawini is an immigration attorney, but he was handling Fotis' civil case, and then they dropped Fotis as a client. I'm still looking at this one article. Oh, this is important, okay? Remember when Gummieni, right, later told police that, okay, Gummieni returns to the property in Fotis Dulos' Raptor at around 5:14 p.m. and 15 minutes later is seen leaving in his Tacoma. It's not clear what condition the inside of the truck was when he drove off in it. Gummieni later told police that he found a red pail and a blue hoodie stuffed into it in his truck. That's the blue hoodie that the bike rider was riding. That's another dead giveaway. The bike riders, the blue hoodie was in there. Now, assuming the items belonged to Fotis, Gummieni brought those items into the house and left them in the laundry room. I'm still looking for anything on the citizenship. Where's Potter? Potter usually knows this stuff, like, right? Potter's not here? Potter, can you check if they're citizens? Okay, I don't know. I wouldn't trust the Daily Mail, but the Daily Mail is the only one that I see that it outright mentions it. What? Hoping to get mommy's attention with what? Whose hospital visit? Oh, about the hospital visit? Do you think she's pregnant? Oh, you're answering me about that? Oh, thank you, Ariel Mama. Police told that Troconis underwent a stain eval as a condition. Oh, okay. She had to change clothes. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ariel Mama. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Daily Mail said it must be true. It has a lot to do with the ankle bracelet. You now feel better knowing that Fotis will not be what? What did Joker put? Good night, everyone. Thank you for the amazing, awesome chat and your amazing input. I now feel better knowing Fotis will not be SBLE space T. Will not be what? Joker? Yeah, I read it. I just read it, Casbat. You read that. please read my super chat. I did, didn't I? Oh, you gave me, wait a minute. Under as a release on, she was wearing a, she had to change clothes for the evaluation. I did read it. You didn't hear? As a condition of her release on bond, she was wearing a jumpsuit because she'd have to change clothes for the eval anyway. I did read it. Maybe it says a delay in the chat. Thank you. So he also used her Suburban. Yes, Alma. Yes. That the Suburban came out of the driveway. I mean, out of the garage, drove down the street. You really need to catch up on that one video. Surely you will think, with all the CTV, a Fotis coming in and out and going from where? Yeah, you would think that somebody on that street would have got Fotis' face. It is the worst tabloid in the UK. And so many, I saw it in the Daily Mail. So I saw it in the National Enquirer. It must be true. That's not to say something that you see in the National Enquirer may sometimes turn out to be true. But you don't put your stock in it. Daily fail. Hey, April. Oh, what Fotis' hand and arm? Which one? Which photos about his hand and arm? What'd you say, Ariel, Mama? About his hand and arm? Mommy, that was an old message. What was an old message? I am so confused now. Your chat's slower than mine. Oh, okay, I got it now. What is Diana talking about? A photo about his hand and arm? Yeah, the rags, yeah. For hair. But which photos did she say? Did she say just look at photos, or she knew where good photos were of his hair, of his? I know, I've seen his hair is shaven. I saw that. I wanted to see if he had a hairy chest. Here, I'll show you if I can show you the picture I'm talking about. It's actually a video that I saw. They were taking him out of jail, and he had his head down low. And I said, what happened to his hair? And then oh my gosh, he shaved his hair. That's why he looks so bad. Oh, here. Yeah, this is, yeah. Now, you've got to remember, they didn't get arrested. It was a couple, it was like in June to show, there's a few, it started to grow back, but. You see? And I don't know if we can get a really close-up of his arms. That guy next to him looks way hairier in the arms than Fotis does. And the guy behind him looks like he's got shaved arms. That guy over there is hairy arms. The guy in front of him is hairy arms. That guy looks pretty clean shaven. This guy that's holding him with the purple gloves has hairy arms. But he shaved his head. He never wears his hair short like that. So, he had an accident with a hair trimmer. Had a busted purple finger. He had a busted purple finger? All right, let's take a look for a busted purple finger. I'll go in another picture and I'll try to look for a busted purple finger. No, I mean, I just said, you know, but no, Ariel Mama said no, it wasn't about that. He looks very confident in this picture right over here. I'm going to show you this one. That's a feeling of, that's confidence there. I'm trying to find one with his finger, or with his chest, or where did you see this, Ariel Mama? Hold on, yeah. Let me see something. Okay, here's another picture. Wait a second. Now look at his arms here. His arm doesn't look too hairy. And remember, he was kept in there. Remember, he wrote that thing about how scared he was. So he had time for stuff to grow in, and he wasn't arrested right away. I don't see any finger stuff, Ariel. I'm looking. If you have a picture with his finger, send it on in. Yeah, I don't see it. I can't see a picture of him with his shirt off either, which is odd for a water skier. I think there'd be a lot of pictures with his shirt off. Swim trunks on. He probably wears the bikini ones. Okay. I've got to get back to the chat. You found Fotis running around with the ankle bracelet. He has hairy legs. Oh, I no doubt he has hairy legs. I could tell you that. Now, see, I don't know really why I just said that to you. Why did I think he... I want to see his... I did do image search. What did you put in there? You put running around with ankle bracelet, hairy legs? Somebody said the state trooper is very handsome. Who, April? This one over here you said is very handsome? Or are you looking at this one? Who are you looking at? I know I saw it, like when I was doing the image search, something came up, looked like couscous and spinach and something else, and all it did was make me hungry. Now I'm starving. I wish someone had that for me. Oh, I wouldn't want to search. I would never want to put the word naked in an image search. I would be scared at what would come up. I'll sound like a big hoe. But I've never known a Greek, French, or Italian guy that wasn't hairy as a yak. Had to hoover the bed. I know. Okay. As an Italian, 100%, I can tell you there are Italian guys that are not hairy. As someone that's married to a Greek, I can tell you there are Greek guys that are not hairy. In fact, they asked Jimmy. Do you remember in the power washing, you guys were asking if Jimmy waxed his legs? Okay, Jimmy doesn't wax his legs. And my older sons, one has hair on his chest and one doesn't. My father didn't have hair on his chest. He had like one hair on his chest, and he was fully Italian, and he was not a hairy guy either. So He could have waxed those arms. You dated an Italian, he wasn't hairy. Can we take a poll now? How many people have been with Italians? How many people have been with Greeks, and are they hairy? I have photos of each on Facebook. I'm going to collect them all and email them. Okay, good. And my 3 brothers, 2 have hair on their chest, 1 doesn't. But they're not like overly hairy. Italian hairy dipper says. I work with Greeks. They're not all hairy. This is great. Busting stereotypes. I can't find a single photo of Dulos bare-chested. It's because he had a concave chest. No, I don't know. It's very odd being a water skier and all. Being a Mediterranean, they usually love to show off their body. Another stereotype. Most Greeks, oh, come on. That's one thing I couldn't take, Lamb Dolly. I could not take that. I'm sorry, that's a deal breaker for me, right there. I'm sure your hubby, sons, and brother are happy I'm sharing too, aren't they? To see, to see you are contributing. Oh, you're searching too? It's interesting. Okay, Diana, try to find some hairy or purple fingers or something. I bet the nude are in adult sites. Bye, Flower Girl. Just going to have to add something on the hairy chest. Gary looked really like Robin Williams, but I also added not as hairy. He had a hairy chest, not very though. Oh, okay. Your dad's sister was Italian. Your sister's dad was Italian. He had to shave 3 times a day. Disney allowed his mustache, but not his 5 o'clock shadow. Oh dear. Right, they all wear Speedos. Seriously. I'm thrilled the members of your family. They are. Mom, you were talking. Okay. But no one is overly hairy that I talked about. You left chat for 2 minutes. See, you missed it. Have you dated any Italians or Greeks, Bella? And could you tell us if they were hairy or not hairy? And if they were hairy, were they overly hairy, meaning like back hair you could braid, or they didn't have any back hair that you could braid and they were just nicely hairy? I guess you are hairy or not. It's not a choice unless you want. No, but there's there's also overly hairy, Diana. There's nice, okay, like you just have chest hair. The guys you see at the beach that have a full, almost fur on their back, that's overly hairy. And some guys are a lot of chest hair. Some guys have a little bit of chest hair. You're emailing me now, Ariel? Okay. Your dad shaved twice a day. I don't know anyone that shaves their arms. In the U.S., if a man is hairy and they come to you at a beach in a Speedo, you run. I don't know. If they just have some women, didn't Burt Reynolds have a hairy chest and women went nuts over him? Didn't Tom Jones have a hairy chest with the gold chain? There's a certain kind of hairy that's a lot of people find very, very sexy. A lot of people can't stand a guy that doesn't have, there's that old adage, when you're a kid, eat it, it'll put hair on your chest. Hair on your chest was a good thing. You weren't seen as masculine if you didn't have hair on your chest to a lot of people. You've never heard that saying? But then there's overly hairy. Hairy backs is a deal breaker. The chest, if it's not overly hairy, it doesn't. I don't want overly hairy like fur. You still like the hairy guys. I just don't like the back fur. That's too much for me, Gary. Your hubs had no hair. Now he has chest hair and back hair, eyebrows, nasal, shaver, works overtime. He wore a dang fur coat. Grandma had the bird poster hanging over the tub directly. See, but your grandma liked it, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. Some people like that. Some people won't date they're like, ugh, I won't even date anybody with that. Okay, without that, I mean. Hang about the beaches in Italy, lots of grizzly bears. It looks like a shag carpet. With you 100%, yeah. I don't mind the chest hair as long as there's no back fur attached. I think the chest hair with the gold chain can look sexy, okay? You want the truth, it can. If it's not over the top. And that was, especially in the 70s and 80s, that was considered sexy. If guys didn't have that, they were upset they didn't have chest hair. You really never heard that expression? They say, eat this, it'll put hair on your chest? Oh, that one you heard it, Lisa. Yeah, I've always heard that. Oh, Glenn Dolly. Any men in here for hair input? Fuzz is okay, but not carpet. Right. I agree. Hardly any hair. I'm not being rude. On my holidays in Europe, the Russians are pretty up there in the hair department. What the hairy guy looks like. Yeah. Just think back to the 70s. But beyond Burt Reynolds, who else was like, Tom Jones had hair on his chest, right? Think about all the, hold on, I'm going to get it. Sent, Italian girl, dad, brothers, not hairy. I'm hairy, not on my back. Hair on my head, down on my tailbone, and the rest I shaved almost daily. You've heard that, and for girls, it would make your hair curl. Too much for you. Okay, so yes, it's hair on the chest was like considered a good thing. I've heard guys that are freaking out because they didn't have hair on their chest. Okay. You sent me an email. Hold on. Okay, I don't have anything yet. Now I have it. Okay, Fotis' finger. I love the source. I hope they didn't doctor. It's from the Daily Mail. I hope they didn't Photoshop that. I hope that's real. You think it's real? Can we see it in any other source? I just want to know that's real, because that's from the Daily Mail. I'll try to find that jogging picture on another source, because I could do that to all of his fingers. Watch, if I took that picture and put it in Photoshop, I could do that to all of his fingers. All right, I'm gonna go try to find another picture that's not in the, now that I know that that's the picture, because I've seen that picture. Hold on a minute. See, I see the same picture. It says the Daily. I don't know if that's real. I see a picture. I've looked and I see it, and it says it's a faker thing. I thought it was the Daily News. The one is the Daily Mail, and then the other one says TB Daily News, not the Daily News. And it's a faker site. I'm trying to find a real picture like that. All I keep seeing is Daily Mail. And that is simple for somebody to doctor that up. And the Daily Mail buys stuff. So I'm just afraid somebody doctored it and sold it to them, and they don't care. They'll just say they just want to sell stuff. They don't care if it's factual or not. If it sells, if it gets people to the site, if it gets people there, they're going to do it. And I'm concerned that I do not see it anywhere else. If you can find a site that's on, a real site, anyone, let me know. I cannot find it on a real site. And it looks highly doctored, because the nail doesn't look right either. This looks terribly doctored. That has to be my, hold on a minute. Where's my gavel? It's over here. Right now, until I get another source, I'm going to say that we can't trust that here. Facts not fluff. No, can't do it. Sorry, I can't. That I could show you right now. I could bring that into Photoshop and I could do the rest of his fingers. I have to see it in a real source there. All right. And let me see, did you send me another picture? Sorry to be a stickler. Fotis finger. Okay, let me see here. Oh, this is again. And it's again. Okay. And now this is... Oh, you want to show me his arms here? Okay. I didn't know what we were looking at over here. So he's not overly hairy. His arms are not overly hairy. I would not call him an overly hairy guy. He does have hair here and hair here, but he's not overly hairy. See, when they're overly hairy, they have like fur growing over here on the shoulders. I don't think he has a hairy chest. Just by looking at this right here, I'm thinking he doesn't have a hairy chest. But then again, as a water skier, he might wax his chest. I don't know. Do water skiers that are in competitive wax their chest? They might. So they don't chafe when they put that life jacket on. But they don't Photoshop. I think Mommy thinks they are as bad as the National Enquirer. Yeah, I have to check it out. How come I can't find it? That would be huge. That would be all over the New York Times, everywhere. How come I can't find it on one other source? That's what makes me scared. This arm looks waxed. The upper arm looks waxed to you? Could be. It could be waxed. Your brother-in-law is a carpenter and built and always has a hammer going into his hands. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Ow. Did it again. I bet he shaves his whole body. He might. If he's a competitive guy and somebody said you've got to shave your whole body, he would. He needs... I'm not saying he's innocent. Oh, I'm not saying he's innocent. No, I don't think you're saying he's innocent. I think we're doing the right thing, getting the facts. Okay. He probably gets manscaped every week. But it wouldn't even be Evie. I don't even think it would be them. Like if somebody did that to his finger and brought it to the Daily Mail, and the Daily Mail had a story, I think they always go like an unspecified source, don't they? Like that other rag, the Radar Online. They would buy the freaking picture. They wouldn't care because they just pass on the blame to somebody else. We told you it was an unspecified source. We don't know. You decide. It's like that. You decide. You've never met a water skier that's shaved. Water polo, sure, but water skiers spend very little time in the water, so they don't need to. Okay. Many buff guys wax or shave. Overall view on this case. Photos, lift your shirt up. Photos, quick, lift your shirt. Okay, well, he's going to have pictures like Chris Watts did. They have to take his shirt off, so we're going to see. Oh, you have photos of Dulos shirtless with hair on his chest. Oh, Tom Selleck. Yeah, I was thinking of Tom Selleck too, right? People go, my girlfriend is still crazy over Tom Selleck. I don't know how, but she is. And, yeah. Okay, let me see. Photos. All right, that's Daily Mail again. The one I'm looking at the finger, so I must be one behind. Hold on. Now there's Photos looking hairy. All right, let's see Photos looking hairy. What the heck is that picture? Who is that? That's a little strange. You think so? Who is that in the picture? I can't see who's in the picture. That's a really strange pose for two guys. I am sorry. I would be highly suspect if my husband was posing like that with another man. I don't know about you, but that's not his brother. And even if it was his brother, I don't know what I would be like, what the heck is up with that? Is there something you want to tell me? Okay, let's see. Do we have any info on that? Does anybody else find that to be an odd picture if that was your husband? Well, that's a good one, honey. We should frame that. That's really odd. I'm sorry. I know there'll be people here like, that's not odd. My husband poses like that all the time. But that's very odd to me. See, that is slightly hairy to me. I don't mind that. That kind of hair looks good to me. That would never turn me off, that kind of hair. Okay? That's a little amount of hair. You'd be creeped out if that was your... Good, I'm not alone here. If my husband ever showed me a picture like that, I would be, who the hell is that? And, but are we sure that's photos and that head is not photoshopped on there? I don't trust that this is really Fotis. It doesn't look exactly like him. It looks like they might have done that face change thing, because who is, can you tell me who it says? Ariel Mama, who does it say? Because I can't read the caption. Who does it say it is? And where does the picture come from? Here's a picture of Dad when he was, when he went on that vacation. Oh, this is somebody you met at the resort, honey? Okay. That's strange, okay? Something's wrong there. Did Ariel Mama answer where that picture's from? Can see the line. That I don't believe that. I'm not believing that picture. I think someone put that up there to try to make it seem like he was having an affair with a guy or something. Yeah, something's up with that. That one there kind of looks like my contractor, the one I had to take. He in that Fotis guy in that picture looks like the contractor I had to take to court. Okay, and something's up with that. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Something's up with, I'd say. No. Let's see what else we've got. What is this? Who are these people? I don't get what this picture's about. There's 3 women here. Did you send me the wrong picture? Are they saying that's Troconis at the end? I don't think that's Troconis. First of all, that girl has light-colored curly hair. I'm going to have to gain access in this group because it looks like there's a lot of speculation going on here. I don't think these are facts, not fluff people. That's not Troconis. That is not Troconis. That's not Troconis. I can see it from a mile away. I've seen pictures of Troconis when she looks good at the ski resort. She doesn't look like that. Tell them, you can tell them I said so. Let me see here. Where do I have to get back to the chat? No, it's not Michelle. It's not her. There's a picture with her and Ozzy Osbourne when she looks good, and she's at the ski resort. But that's not her. That woman there has brown hair and it's very curly hair. And the face is different. That's not her. It's somebody that resembles her, but it's not her. Not her. Especially in the second picture. The one picture where she's on the end, you could see a slight resemblance. The second picture, you can see 100% it's not her. You're still lost to what the hairy men have to do with anything. Oh. Velamac is sending a message? Oh, you're sending a message? She does look like a man. Could that be his best friend that looked like him? That's not him. I'm very suspect dreaming on that. Ariel, did they have a who that is, where it was taken from? Download the photos and send you the verified date. But I was just trying to get. Oh, okay. You know me, Ariel. I need those verifications. I don't want to be. I'd be slammed out here. Did you see what that Mommy Ramblings put out? Facts, not fluff. She's a fake. She's a phony. She put out phony pictures of Fotis Dulos with another guy. I can't. And the woman that does not, that doesn't look like Michelle Troconis to me. Have they mentioned if the police have the knife? No, we're trying to figure that out. Somebody's got to go find Fudge. Somebody near, or, I don't know. Yeah, I've got to, everything's got to be verified here. I'll get the same rap that other people are doing. Some things are better left unseen. Of him actually shaving or waxing. Oh, to deter, yeah. It's all for a purpose. Oh, thanks, Wake Up. Wake Up. Remember when you first came in here and I met you over at the, where did we meet, Wake Up? We met over at the, what is that place? Law and Crime. Remember we met at Law and Crime in some trial? And then you came over here, and then the next day I met you over there, and you go like this, hey, Mommy Ramblings, I got blocked. And I was like, no, you didn't get blocked. And then you're like, oh, I didn't? I said, no. And then you came back. And you see? See, if I hadn't shown up that next day, you wouldn't know the love. No, wrong couple. That's the wrong couple dreaming. It's Severs that you're thinking about the swinging. When you say fudge, I think of Christmas Story when he says, fudge. Did I miss that too? No, no swinging here. An affair. They all meld together because I did that. I do that many times. Oh, good night, Diana. Oh, it happens, Dreamy. Don't be sorry. They all run together at some point. All of these cases seem to involve an affair. They usually do involve an affair when there's a guy that kills his spouse or a woman that kills her husband. What time is it? Ooh, it's time to say goodnight. What did we don't do what did we learn on the show tonight? We should have a segment. We should have like a little theme song that comes through with the thing and it says, what did we learn on the show tonight? I always liked that part of The Late Show with Craig Ferguson. It was one of my favorite parts, and he had a little kitten on there all the time that just didn't fit with the show, but it worked. Did anybody watch that show? And then, what did we learn on the show tonight, Craig? Is the New York Post... The New York Post is acceptable, yes. Yes. The video. Yeah, you can send me the link and I'll check it over. I don't know that I can show it here. I got to check. Yes, please. I need to go shopping. I love Craig Ferguson. We should have a recap like that at the end of the night, don't you? So everybody knows what we learned on the show? Because we go through a lot of stuff here. New York Post is a limited hangout. New York Post is a limited hangout. Alma, fudge, and hair. We learned about Alma tonight. We learned about Michelle. We learned about her mother in a Medicaid fraud scheme. We learned about a knife that the homeless guy picked out of the trash under the bloody pillow after he wiped the blood on his pants and sold it to Fudge, who either gave him $5 that he bought crack with, or Fudge gave him $5 worth of crack. But either way, Fudge has the knife. And Fudge is in Hartford, and we don't know what happened there, if the police found Fudge or what. You think it would be easy to find him, but hopefully they did. And then we learned why Troconis was in the hospital. We learned about that app that can track people out on bond. We learned that Fotis might have been traveling around town in skinny jeans. What else? Oh, we talked about Michelle, and we got to find that Instagram animal account, Animal Prints and Spearfishing, and that Fotis was skilled in taxidermy. And then we saw that Fotis had looked like he had shaved his head to try to get any hairs from not going in. And I think that's why somebody mentioned, he did, that he didn't go in the house, but he hugged the kids like he was, so a hair may have gone in. So he was definitely, he knew about the hair. And yeah, shaved or waxed his arms. We may or may not have seen damage to one of his fingers. The jury is out on that still. You'll have to look it up, Carolyn. It's a bit controversial. What is a bit controversial? I missed it. What is a bit controversial? Oh, okay. A limited. All right. I don't know. Yeah, I'll look it up. Maybe I don't want to. Two guys. Carolyn, the picture of the two guys popped up on an avatar on your YouTube homepage with your travel. Oh, no, it's not an avatar. Wait, what do you mean? You mean it's showing for this video? That's because it just stops the video at random points, but it's not going to stay on that. Don't worry about it. We already gave it. They already know. We said right for this time, we're taking it as fluff until we hear further. So that's been ruled fluff. So we can't get in trouble for it. We learned we still don't know what happened to the bike. Yeah, where's the bike? If it's a blood blister under the finger, that could be a common thing for a person in construction. If he actually participated in the labor, which I don't think Pretty Boy John didn't. Photum is medium hairiness. As long as he doesn't have the back fur, he's okay. You think you're the last mod standing? Do you? Well, you win the door prize tonight. Okay, all right, well, you dozed off and you missed the owl theory? Oh, the owl theory, yeah. All right, well, that's it. We probably learned more than that, but nobody can remember. Hi, Dylan. Dylan's here. You're not the last one. Dylan's in competition for the door prize. Oh, Sharon's there too. You're not winning that door prize, Lisa. Sorry. No, they heard door prize and they were right on it. Like, who? Oh, there's Casbat. Forget it. Door prize is out of it. You're out of it, Lisa. There'll be no door prize tonight. It was like, door prize? I'm not letting Lisa get that door prize. We're here. Okay. Hi, Wendy. We're leaving, Wendy, though, to verify the naked. We got to verify the naked man hug photo. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say naked. They were shirtless. But it was a kind of a weird pose. And it looks like somebody might have just done that just to create a controversy. You know, you could do that on YouTube. If you really didn't care about facts at all, you could have like such a crazy YouTube channel. You'd have people all the time. If you went on with like, look, like, I mean, you could Photoshop Fotis' hand to look like total, look at this. You decide. Look at this. Somebody sent me this, the source. I don't know. You decide. And there would still be people that would go to that. That's the scary thing. And they wouldn't get upset with you either, those kind of people, because you're like, look, you guys, somebody said they were a source and they sent it to me. I told you guys it was up to you to decide. They would come, but I just can't do that. But if it was easy, like a spoof channel like that, I might want to have like a spoof night or so. I could do a lot of things that would make things look not like they appear. Like somebody's hand, you know, like really mangled. Or, you know, look at this. How did they not find this? Or like some weapon in the back of their truck. You know, I mean, I would do a parody like that. Like just a funny thing like that. But everybody would know that it was for fun. Oh, thanks, H.J. Sheridan. You know, there is a quote that I saw. It said something like, let me see if I saw it today. And I said, I'm going to put that. It's so funny that you said that, because I said, that's a really good quote. No, of course, I'll check. Let's see if is it. It wasn't we speak for the dead to protect the living. It was, I'll find it and I'll give it to you tomorrow. It was much better than that. We speak, it was something like, we speak for the voiceless. It was a very, hold on. For the ones that have no voice, I think that's what it was. The ones that have. It's actually a proverb, but they changed it. So it comes from Proverbs 31:8. Speak up for those who have no voice, for the justice of all. But they changed it a little bit. But that's still good. Proverbs 31:8. Speak up for those who have no voice, for the justice of all. And then it's speak out for those who cannot speak, for the rights of all the destitute. With that, I'll find that. Someone changed it a little bit, and I'll find it. the one I'm talking about, but it's derived from there. Anyway, everybody have a good night. Thank you to the moderators that are here. Sorry about the door prize, Lisa. And anyway, I will talk to you tomorrow. Repeat something for me, Carolyn. What would you like me to repeat? Something? What? Repeat what for you, Lisa? What am I repeating? I think misinformation is easy. I know. Has anyone participated in the Clued Up GPS? No. Where do you get those? What are those? Clued Up GPS detective games? Are they real games? Like you find somebody real? Do you know? Oh my gosh, did I tell you guys this? There are real groups. What did I tell you? I think it's on Reddit. Help me find or help me. And these people, it's like an FBI group, but they're not FBI, but they want to be FBI people. And they go on and they try to solve whatever you give them. Did you ever see that? It's on Reddit. I have to remember what the name is. It's like, and I mean, these people are serious. Like if you're like, hey, I can't find so-and-so, and they're on it. You know, somebody told me that actually it was the contractor, the one that wrecked up the whole floor with the thing to get back at his cousin. He told me that he was really worried about his mom because she was in some web sleuthing site. I don't know if it was web sleuths exactly, but no, I think it was on Facebook. And they were looking for someone, and it was around here. It was like a missing persons case or something. And he said, I'm so worried for my mother because she's so invested in this thing. And I heard her talking, and she's going out with a bunch of people, and they're going down to Long Island, and they are going to look for this person because they think they know where they are. And he's like, and I told her, Mom, you have to stop this. You're going to get yourself killed. Everything is on Reddit. But no, that's a real life. I mean, she was going out. She was like in her 60s, late 60s, and she's out there like canvassing Long Island for someone. Okay, you have to purchase a ticket for your team in the city? Oh, in your city. I have to look into that. Send me a link. Okay, what did Lisa want me to repeat? Lisa H. Guys often pay $5.99 a minute for similar stories from the Seaver's Diary that Carolyn can read in chat. I was pretty amazed with the sleuthing. Oh, yeah, right? Absolutely. You know what? It's like, because you want to get, here's what it is to me. I get upset. Like, I want to get to that case where you can still find that thing that they didn't find. Like, where they don't know the one account on social media that they missed, or they missed their reviews on TripAdvisor, or they missed a review on Yelp, or something that you can find before they do. You know, that's always interesting to me. Like when a case first cracks, maybe they missed something. Maybe they're in like some pregnancy group that they didn't check. Anyway, what does Lisa want me to repeat? Good night, everyone. Is that what I'm repeating, Lisa? Oh, Lisa wants to repeat the Long Island case and the decoupage for the 25th or the February 1st. Is that what it is? I hope so. Anyway, good night, everybody. And love you. God bless. Stay safe. Don't solve dangerous crimes by yourself. Carolyn. Yes, Robin. Are you calling me? You do believe you solved a missing child remains from a state that uses astrology. It's fascinating. I use Google Earth and... Oh, wow. Let us know at Sarah. We'll feature your story. You can come tell it. You should come tell your story. J-Bells at Casbah. Okay, Wendy. What did somebody just called my name? Robin, did you have something to say? Oh, you can? Okay, well, let us know if you did it. All right, I'm going to go because I'm starving. I've got to eat something and then go to bed. All right, bye, everybody. Take care. Thank you to the mods. Thank you for coming. God bless. I love you. Bye.